there's this conversation about capitalism that I'd like to share with you, which is capitalism is so fascinating on the fact that you are free in a market to decide on who exactly you are. Unlike socialism, communism, and every other fucking thing that has failed, capitalism gives you an opportunity to be whoever you want to be tomorrow. Maybe you know me that I used to be bad, and now I'm having this tie. And then maybe you know I used to shout, and then I'm this calm. That is capitalism in action. You can choose to tell the exact story that you want to tell. Capitalism gives you an opportunity to a free market. And what does that mean? A free market is that if you bring your product to the market today, somebody will get to buy. Whether you copy the idea from your friend, you stole somebody's property, whether you are Microsoft that stole Apple's software, or whatever the case may be, spare me the bullshit. Whatever this story may look like, whether you just saw a little glitch in Apple product and then you do something a little bit better. Even if you are thinking of selling shit, that is the power of free market. The free market is telling you that you can bring anything whatsoever to the market, and then people can get to buy, no matter what it is, And all the legislation that's around that free market is to ensure that at least people get the quality for the money they pay, and at the same time, you don't sell things that will generally harm the society. So it's a fucking free market. It's a fucking free market. So you want to sell phone, you want to sell laptop, you want to sell computer, you are welcome. You want to sell water, sachet, salt. When I think of it, should somebody be selling water? That's a very fundamental question. Because water in itself, by its inherent nature, is available for free. In fact, it takes about 70% of all what we know as earth. So when somebody say, I'm selling water, it's questionable. And even people sell premium water. Look at this. People sell premium waters. I don't understand what is premium about water. Because they claim to take the water that we both know through an exact process that transforms that essential same water into something you can acquire, something you can buy. It says cleaner, it's healthier, or whatever the case may be. But whenever we have to choose all those grammar, all those tenses, all those poetic use of word, all those advertisable prepositions and unique selling points, that is exactly where your story comes in. I was talking about this fascinating and the day I was selling water. If you look at it, the people that sell us sachet water, they talk about selling us convenience. You need the water on the fly. You don't need to dug a well. And they sell us this cleanliness of the water. And they sell us on this healthiness of the water. So, in your business, remember I was talking about capitalism. Capitalism are giving you the opportunity to come to the market. That makes you, even if you have failed before, you can bring something back on the table. And somebody will welcome you. And then, this free market idea opens you up to bring something to the marketplace. And then, that very day, that moment, when exactly and what exactly should you do to ensure that this free market actually works for you? That is why it is so essential and preemptive for you to tell your own story. You see, I've come to understand, my business is now about 20-something countries now, probably 22 or so. And what I've come to understand is that the only thing that makes the difference between my business and every other is the fact that I tell my story. Like this. Like the way I'm trying to let you understand that I understand the fundamentals of capitalism. And I appreciate the beauty of a free market. And I understand the fact that I have to tell my story like the way I'm telling my story right now. So that it will connect with you. And you end up trusting me to do business with me. That is the same thing I'm expecting you to do to your customer. You are selling cream. You are selling gold. You are selling clothes. You are selling food. Food is available. People even cook their house. You are selling water, like the example that I made. It's the exact story that you tell in this free market that makes the difference between you and every other fucking person in the same market. So what is my point? My point is that as much as capitalism welcomes every Dick and Harry in the marketplace, it is telling your story that makes that different between you, the Coca-Cola, and the empty can that contains a sugary drink. Coca-Cola is different from that. Because the moment there's Coca-Cola on that, it's a story that can is telling. Open happiness. That is the story of Coca-Cola. And when I'm thinking about Outlook and iMac and iPhone, I see myself as somebody that's thinking different. That is the story Apple has to tell. And that is why company as such can grow from whatever the cover look like to $1 trillion in market capitalization. That is the power of story in a fucking free market. So no matter how free the market is, your story is a premium you have to pay. So what do I want you to do from here? Start telling your story. If you can't afford a Nikon D850 so that you can be shooting, or you can't afford to have crew that will help you edit, you can start from a simple post on Instagram. You know, your TikTok, your Facebook, your LinkedIn. Simple message, simple idea about what exactly you are trying to do in the marketplace. At FutureX, we believe the X is on you. But we are coming from a dark background, from the dark place where there's absence of photon. That we are at the edge of taking Africa to a new conversation. And that is our story. And that is why we are empowering business like yours. So if you are in that space, you are welcome to the free market, where your story is the premium you have to pay. So my dear friend, whatever part of the world you are watching this content, it is essential you start telling your story. It's essential you start appreciating the power of the free market. And you know that everything that comes free has a price. And the price is find a way to tell your story. Let's meet tomorrow. Let's talk about another idea. But appreciate the power of capitalism and tell your story starting from now. Tell your story in the comment section. Let me hear you.